HTC used to be a major Android phone manufacturer and company around 3+ years ago, but now it's very rare to see someone with an HTC phone on the street. HTC has already released two main flagship phones this year, the U Ultra and the U11, and they aren't selling too well. But why is that? I can name 4 reasons why HTC isn't doing too well anymore. Let's get into it. The first reason I think to warrant the company's failure is their failure of marketing. Even if they made the best phone in the world, with the best specs, best build, best software, if the public doesn't know about it, it won't sell well. If HTC doesn't step up their marketing, every phone they make will turn out like the LG V20. That is being a great phone, great software, great build, but the public not knowing about it so it doesn't sell well. Samsung spent a crazy $2.5 billion last quarter in marketing, while HTC on the other hand just spent around $130 million, which is just 5% in comparison. When I went to India a few weeks ago, everywhere I saw there were Galaxy S8 commercials, Galaxy S8 billboards. When I turned on the TV, I would see Galaxy S8 advertisements. When I wanted to see the newspaper, I would see Galaxy S8 advertisements in the newspaper as well. I haven't really ever seen an HTC advertisement on TV, on a billboard, in a newspaper, here or in India. HTC themselves admitted to being a failure in marketing. The next reason I can think of is their inability to bring a phone to the market in a short time. For example, the Snapdragon 835 chipset processor came out around April of 2017, but HTC didn't utilize this chip in the U Ultra. They used it in the U11, which came out in July. They could have easily pushed back the date by a few days or weeks of the U Ultra and easily put in this chip, but they didn't, and it could have been a hot phone, but it wasn't because of that 821 chipset. I feel that only a true HTC diehard would buy an HTC phone because it doesn't have good specs, good build, or good software. Only a true HTC diehard would buy it because they love HTC so much. The third reason I'll give is because of their late operating system and system updates to their phone. Even when first released, they don't ship with the newest firmware and software. I like giving recent examples and not examples from a few years ago to make it more credible. So I'll talk about the U11 and U Ultra, particularly the U Ultra in this example. This phone came out around March and April of this year. Android 7.0 was first shipped and released on August 22nd, 2016. And Android 7.1 was released around January of 2017. The U Ultra didn't ship with 7.1, it shipped with Android 7 Nougat out of the box, which is kind of strange because the 7.1 had been out for around 3 or 4 months. Now this may not seem that big of a deal at first because it's still Android 7.0 Nougat, but soon they'll start selling those phones that ship with the OS that came out from the previous year, such as currently they might ship with phones that have Marshmallow in them or even Lollipop. Also, to most people, HTC Sense, which is the skin on Android 7.0, isn't that well of a skin. It's quite intensive and takes away from the beauty of stock Android. The fourth and final reason I'll give is that their phones aren't as good as compared to other Android phone companies, especially for the price. Once again, I'll give a current example. We'll go with the U11. The U11 is $650 and the U Ultra is $700. And when it first came out, the U Ultra was $750. The build and software of the U11 and U Ultra is not worth the money to the average user. HTC tried to engage the Android audience by marketing a shiny back phone on their U11 and U Ultra, but it doesn't work too well. Most of the features they have are really gimmicky. For example, their Edge Sense feature. What Edge Sense essentially is that the user squeezes their phone to open an app or a shortcut. So if you want to open Instagram, just squeeze your phone and it'll open. What were they thinking? Who just squeezes their phone to open an app? That's so gimmicky. No one's ever going to use it. Not to mention the accidental self-presses. What I think they should do is disregard the flagship market, or at least disregard the flagship price, and focus on exactly what the high-end market with a low price is. I think they should go for around a $400, $450 at most price tag with a good experience good software, good build, good overall experience of the phone, that would attract more customers and do exactly what OnePlus is doing. They're using newer technologies, maybe not the best technologies, but newer technologies at a lower price, which gets more users, and it has good performance as well, so that gets those users to use the phone. It's hard to really find someone who wants to pay over $600 for a normal phone that they can buy for around $200, $300. The people who want to buy iPhones, Galaxy S's or Notes, and other flagship devices such as the LG V lineup and the G series are expecting extraordinary value for their money. A lot of good performance, a good build quality, a phone that'll last them a long time. Well guys, those were my thoughts on HTC, and by no means am I trying to hurt them or talk bad things about them, just some constructive criticism. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.